Thanks to EA for sponsoring this video. Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. In this video, I'm working on a whimsical mansion, and this one is all about the little sunroom in the front, and I'm so excited to show you how I built this. I started off by working on the little sunroom, which I built using the brand new glass wallpaper from the base game and lots of items, and this was quite challenging, but I also had so much fun. Before we continue, remember to use code EMERALD when shopping Sims 4 packs to support me and my channel. Add a pack to your cart, enter EMERALD, and apply the code. You can now save up to 50% in the Sims 4 Midsummer sale. Thank you so much for your support. I already talked about the glass wallpaper in my recent videos, and let me tell you, when I was working on this, I noticed that it's even better than I thought. You know that when you are sizing up a window, you have this really weird cutout, and it's super annoying, and this kind of prevents you from really sizing up windows on a wall. And in the past, I've shown some tricks where I sized up the window, I placed it on a half wall, but now you can simply use the glass wallpaper to kind of hide the cutout. I think I'm actually going to make a video about this very soon, but I wanted to mention this. And yeah, here I just built some rooms. As you can see, I applied the base game glass wallpaper, and I then used a lot of items to decorate. It's kind of giving Victorian in some way to me. I used the base game shelves to have a frame going around it. I used the glass roof swatch from the Greenhouse Haven kit. You could totally do this by using the base game glass roof swatch, but I figured this one is looking really cool. I used the windows from Snowy Escape for this, and I just added so many shelves and pillars and just everything. At first it looked quite modern, but after adding all these items it really started to come together. I used the roof decoration from Businesses and Hobbies at the top, and it's kind of sitting behind the sunroom. And this was also when I noticed how amazing this is, because I wanted to have a roof right behind the roof decoration to kind of make it look cohesive. And after doing this, the roof was kind of glitching into the roof decoration, but I then simply applied the glass wallpaper to the roof as well, and it wasn't visible anymore. So this is also such a cool trick. Like, this build was really such an epiphany where I was really starting to figure out how to use the glass wallpaper in different ways. My idea was to have a dining room inside the sunroom. I removed the ceiling to connect it, so it's one big open space. It's 2 stories high. This is going to be the dining area, and behind it I'm going to build a living room, also a bar. So this is kind of the heart of the house, you could say. And because I was connecting the 2 levels this way, and because I also use platforms, the trims started to act weird. Some of them were like on the inside, and there was some visual glitch where the trim was appearing to be dark, like it's a shadow or something. So I had to make some changes to this. I also decided to use the big trim from Life and Death here, and I used the base game shelf to create some trellis. And I'm so obsessed with this trim from Life and Death and the way it's supposed to be used, like the idea behind it, the architecture of Romania, which was like the foundation of the world of Life and Death. It's supposed to be used in a way where you place the roof directly on top of the trim, so it's like an overhang. The trim is sitting below the overhang of your roof, but you totally don't have to use it this way. I just like to explain it because I built for the pack and I'm still excited about this. But here you can also see that I just used it like a random trim, like a normal trim. I combined different windows for this. I used the ones from Snowy Escape and then a base game window, and I just arranged them this way to create some custom windows. I then decided that I would like to have a little lake. I simply used a foundation piece. I applied the stilt foundation, and I filled the hole that I created using the terrain tools with water, so it's like a little pond. You can't really call this a lake, it's more of a pond. And you know that I'm so obsessed with having different levels, walkout basements, and here in this case I didn't want to have a big walkout basement, but I still decided to add a small basement, remove the ceiling, and this is going to be a home gym, just really like not really spectacular, just a small home gym. but I still think that adding the basement adds so much to this build. There's so much going on, but having this little area, having this extra level just makes a build look more interesting. I also decided to have another basement right in front of the entrance area. I raised the foundation though, so it's not really a big height difference, but you could totally remove this. This is really, it might be a little bit inconvenient because the Sims have to walk down the stairs and walk them up again, so you could totally just delete this little basement room and that's it. Also, if you should place this lot, and in case some of the stairs are missing, I just recommend placing them back because stairs are still acting a little bit weird. I then added a lot of debug rocks, just different ones to decorate this, and I quickly used tool just to bring them down a little bit because I wanted them to sit lower. I then found these debug rocks. I used a base game rock as a guideline. I wanted to have a round shape because I then decided that I would like to have a pool in the center, as you will see. I added these rocks from the Desert Lux kit, which have a little waterfall. It's just like a little water feature, really. And I just placed them in different areas, so it's looking more interesting. I also found these little bushes in debug. I just wanted to landscape it a little bit. At this point, the house is almost finished, and it was just time to landscape. These yellow flowers are also from debug. I just wanted to have a pop of color, and I then used a round pool to fill in the area. My initial idea was to turn this into an area for a fire pit for just sitting down. This is why I wanted this to be round, but I then thought, okay, we have the round pools and we only have a pond and no pool yet, so why not just creating a round pool and placing it in the center? And that's what I did. You can here also see the water features, and I then just connected it. I just placed a floor and everything. So this is like the little pool area. I then used terrain paint to make it look more beautiful, to make it look more cohesive. And I oftentimes forget this, but I try to remember that the terrain paint is always a good idea to tie everything together. I just smoothed it out a bit to make it look beautiful. I also placed some of the plants which are part of Enchanted by Nature just on the ground. These are actually supposed to be used on a roof, I think, but I just placed them everywhere to have a nice contrast between the yellow and the blue, and I then started to furnish. Initially, I wanted to have purple walls, but I then decided to go with this color because even though it's a very whimsical build, it just has all these yellow flowers on the outside already, and I decided to have a neutral wallpaper on the inside, and I then used this yellow kitchen. The kitchen counters are from the base game. We got them in a update a while ago, and the thing is, even though it's just a free base game kitchen, it's one of the best. This just goes to show how amazing the base game has gotten at this point. And I used a blue wallpaper to make it more whimsical and colorful. I used the plan from the sleek bathroom kit in a sized up version just on the shelves, and I think that these shelves are actually from the Little Simsy kit, and I'm not really sure if that's the case, but I think so. And I just built a small room, just 2 walls, and I placed the shelf on the inside. I love Little Simsy and her kid, and I just think that this is such a cute look. And I then just decorated the kitchen, and I've used the kitchen clutter kit quite a bit here. And I'm going to probably do this all the time. It's one of the best kits ever. It has a really modern, beautiful kitchen backsplash. When I was sharing my last build, I got some questions about this because some people haven't really discovered the kit and the kitchen backsplash yet. I can totally recommend the kit. I know that kits are generally a little bit controversial, and some people like some kits, others don't, and it's like always a hot topic, but I can tell you that this is like one of the best kits probably. The kitchen clutter kit is amazing. It serves a direct purpose. You can clutter kitchens, and there are lots of items which are amazing, and a lot of them are also functional. Like there's this bag of groceries, for example, and you can click on it and purchase groceries, and I just generally think it's such a really well-made kit with a lot of items. And personally, I have a hard time cluttering, and this kit is just helping me because I can just filter by pack. I look at the kitchen clutter kit and I'm just starting to clutter my kitchen. I generally wish that they would change the whole build by menu, so they would like sort all the different clutter items into different categories, like for kitchens, for living rooms, for offices, I don't know. But like whenever I just look at decorations and I look at clutter, I feel very overwhelmed. I know that this isn't the case for everyone because some people are so good at cluttering and they just know their stuff, but for me it's confusing. So I wish we would get some type of base game update where they give us different categories for clutter. I don't know if you agree, but like for me, I just feel very overwhelmed with this. And we get so many new kits and packs all the time. The build by catalog just grows and grows, and it's getting more confusing to me. And yeah, here I'm working on the living room. This is kind of the front room, I guess you would say. I think it's especially common in the UK to call it this, but I just wanted to have a small living room which is directly connected to the kitchen, but I'm then going to build a bigger one, which is kind of the formal living room in the area right behind the sunroom I talked about. I also added a small table here, like a breakfast area, so you could say that this area on its own just kind of serves as a proper living area where you could prepare food, sit down and eat. You have a living room and a TV, but then you also have the separate area where you have the formal living room, the dining area. So it's kind of like a proper mansion. I just feel like you just need multiple dining areas and living rooms in a proper mansion. And yeah, here I'm finally working on the dining room, and I was kind of confused how to approach this at first. At first I wanted to combine two big dining tables to have this gigantic dining area, but I then noticed that I don't really have enough space in this area, and I really wanted to have a proper dining area in the glass area, so I just decided to go with a round one. And you can see that this is like one of the bedrooms, and the bedroom overlooks the living area, which might be a bit weird, but I just thought it's so fun to connect it this way. We have this very open glass area, and yet the bedroom just has a big window overlooking the living room and the dining area. You can change this if you don't like this. I know that a lot of you really put a focus on realism and privacy in this game, but I just thought it's so fun to connect this way. It would have probably made sense to turn this into maybe an office area, but there's already an office at the bottom, and I was kind of running out of space. Like, I squeezed 4 bedrooms into this because it's actually not the biggest build, so I decided to just do it this way. And yeah, I just furnished another bedroom. There are 2 kids' rooms, 2 regular bedrooms, and you can of course make changes to this. And you can here see so many screenshots, so you can see the exterior and interior. I also took some screenshots of the floor plans from above. This build is available in the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald. You can find all the information in the description. As always, it's CC free. You can just grab it and let your Sims move in. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. As always, I want to remind you that you can use code EMERALD in the EA app to purchase Sims 4 packs and to support me in my channel. Thank you so much to everyone who has used my code, and just thank you for being here, for watching, for leaving a comment. I appreciate all of you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this video and build. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And yeah, thank you. I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.